Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this episode, I want to show you how to replace this little Caddx Nebula camera with the Nebula Pro camera. The Pro camera is actually give you a better resolution. It's a lot more similar to the DJI camera. Since DJI camera is such a short supply today, so this is an alternative solution if you want something closer to the DJI camera and replacing something like the Nebula when they first came out. The resolution and the color, white balance and stuff is not quite up to the par. So let me show you how to do that. It's very simple, but let me take you step by step to go through this. So without further ado, let's do it. So first off, you don't have to remove the whole cable from your quad if you already install it in the quad. Like myself, I have it really embedded in there. Okay, so it's not gonna be able to actually tear it apart and do it. In this case, what I plan to do is just remove the back screw and disconnect the camera from here, and then we'll reconnect the new camera to that back right there. So let me show you how to do that. You need like a real small Phillips screwdriver. There's 2 screws back here, so you want to actually unscrew that. So once you unscrew it, you can see 2 little screws. You can put that aside for now. And now it exposed this connector. Okay, let me zoom in. Right, that's connected right there. So what you do here is that you need something small and thin, and you basically put it underneath here and pull it upward. The connector is actually sit down straight, so you don't want to rip any of this little cable here. So you want to pull it up straight. Okay, very careful. Put some pressure, and the good thing to do is also using a little tiny blade like this as well. That's what I usually make it. As soon as you do that, you see how it pops out? Once you give it the right pressure, and then if you look on here, very tiny connector here. Don't want to mess with that. Leave that alone. And now you see the camera came loose. Right? Camera came loose here. So you can actually see that. Okay? A little connector down there. All right. So now put that aside, and we're gonna open up this new camera here. Open up this camera. Just a typical, Caddx camera. They pretty much have it tight in there. Have a little instruction here, English and Chinese. Put that aside. This camera actually deliver in a cable. You can buy it without cable or with cable. But since our cable is already existing here, because we're not removing the Vista unit back here, we leave it alone. It less work that way. The same connector between here and here. So what we're gonna do, we'll go ahead and unscrew. So the difference with the old one, you can see how small it is, the regular Nebula versus the Pro. So this is the regular size, like the DJI camera. This is smaller, and that's why they always give you this little adapter to kind of make it fit in your frame, right? So like that, so to make it to this side, as you can see, same side now. But you remove the rubber outside frame, you can see that it is much smaller. So in our case, we're gonna go ahead and remove this back, and then we're gonna connect this to it. That's all it's take. Okay, just put your screw in a secure place. We're gonna need that screw back to reconnect it after we connect this wire to it. So now you just pull it off, put the back to the side. Here we go again. So now the same connector, right? So we gotta do the same thing, kind of put it underneath and pop it off just like that. Make sure you don't push any pressure. This thing is so tiny, you don't need a lot of pressure. Just a little, you know, thing to kind of go in there and pull it off like that. Same connector. Now you can take this connector and reinstall it back to the old camera. Just line them up and push it in. And that's all it takes. Okay, so this way the cables are all in the same, you know, unit, so you don't have to worry about it. You can put the cover back so secure that whole thing in there, so you don't lose the part, right? Like that. So now it's back in one piece. Then you can actually put that back in the original box. This way you don't lose the part. You need, you know, use it as a backup if you want. So that's done. So now let's deal with the one we just replaced with. So here we go. Just want to make sure I route it correctly. No big deal. Now same thing, you just line it up on top of this. Let me zoom it in a little bit, you can see, right? You just line it up on top of this. It's like a little ball here. Make sure it's straight. Right? That's important. You don't want to rush through this. You want to make sure that it doesn't take much. You actually, once you line it up, there's a little black end here and black end over here. Okay, sorry. I think I messed up for you. Okay, so basically, it doesn't take much. You can see there's a black end over here and black end over here, right? So that, you want to line it up just like that and just slightly put some pressure and you should hear a click. And that's basically what you're gonna see. Now, all we have to do, we got everything back. Just put the cover back in the back. Again, goes through the same, the process that we took it off, just kind of go reverse process at this point, right? So you can see there. Okay, so a little bit more here, one more over here. Okay, you got all 4 screws in there. You don't have to really, you know, super tight like that. Now, remember, the old camera have a little rubber ring to fit into this frame, right? You don't have to anymore. Now, it should fit perfectly like that, you see? All right, so I'm gonna bring it from underneath, like this. Okay. Okay, now you can see, and just line up the hole down here, over here, and it should be good. So let me do that and cut it back in. So I pick one of these screw right here. This length doesn't have to be real long, and you just align it up, make sure the lens is like slightly behind this guard, so you don't have it protruded like that. That's not protection. There's no protection for this lens. And I basically go back this way a little bit like that and just tighten it up on both sides. So I have one on this side, one on this side, and that should be good. So now it's fully installed, as you can see, on both sides. Look behind the, you know, behind this protection guard right here. It's not protruding through it, you can see. Okay. So all set now. So let's power on and see if I can see much better than the old Nebula. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time.